Hello there everyone, welcome back, welcome to another Inspire video. Today's video is going to be inspired by a young woman who hasn't actually got many videos, and she actually hasn't got very many subscribers, and it's Clarty Hands Crafts. So if I bring that up for you to look at, Clarty Hands Crafts. The particular video that I'm going to sort of have a go at playing with today is how to make an ephemera wallet. So this particular video for her has only had 8 views. She's only got 59 subscribers and she's only got a total of 35 videos. So I thought it would be lovely to go along, pop along and go and show a little bit of support. She has got some other sort of really nice little projects on there too. Let's get down to today's video, because I also want to show you a couple of things that I purchased with my coffee money. So for those of you that have purchased me cups of coffee, thank you very much. It is so much appreciated. And I want to show you what I've actually purchased with it. So these are the papers, and I got them off Amazon. Now I got them because I wanted to check the quality of the paper, because I know not everybody's into tea and coffee dyeing paper, and I know not everybody has a printer either, so I thought I'd test them out on your behalf. So this one pack came in this lovely envelope, so I'll no doubt use that, and I will put the in the link in the description box. I've got an Amazon affiliate link, so I will add them to the paper section of my little shop on Amazon so that you can go and have a look for yourself. This one comes with 25 sheets in it, and this one has got a pack of 60 in. This one's 100 GSM. Now just bear with me, because off to the side here on my computer, so this one with the 25 sheets in was £3.99, and this one with the 60 sheets in was £10.97. okay, and this one has got in it, I only want one sheet, thank you, has got this paper in it, and it's printed on both sides, and I'm presuming that it's laser printed and not inkjet printed. It's fairly flimsy paper, but it's a nice enough weight to go in a journal page. But it's the page that I've used to create this project that we're going to do today. I've also got this one. This was the more expensive one. Now when you look at it, it looks textured. So if I pull one out, and I don't know whether you will see the texture on camera, but it does look textured, and again it's printed on both sides and has that sort of slightly stained coffee effectish. It's almost like, looks like a watercolor paper, but it's actually smooth. It's not textured at all. It's about the same weight of paper as this one. In fact, it tells me it's 100 GSM. Yeah. But again, it's a fairly nice, smooth quality paper. So I thought that this, I've done the example in the other paper, so I'm going to show you how to do it with this one. And I'd better show you what it is that we're going to be making, haven't I? So basically, she made a little ephemera wallet. So when you open it up, it's got 2 little pockets on this side and 2 little pockets on that side. And it's really simple to make. So if this was just this side was patterned and not both sides, you would fold it in half, pattern side up and crease. In fact, I've got my bone folder ready. Okay, and then we're going to put it back down on the table, mounting side up. So as you can see, look, it's lifted up. This we then pinch together. Okay, so I've pinched it together like that, and then we're going to take the whole thing up to the top and leave about 1/2 to 3/4 of an inch, maybe 3/4 of an inch to an inch, and then press that down. So you've now created that. Okay. Not that you can answer me. I'm asking okay, but I know you can't answer. This end, we're then going to fold up so that it lines up with this bottom edge down here. So we're going to fold that up to there. And again, just burnish that crease. And then this top edge again, we're then going to fold down to that bottom edge. So we've now essentially formed our two pockets, okay? And this is what it looks like from a side view. It's like a stepped accordion fold, okay? So if I open it out, we'll go through it again. So that's the halfway fold, and we're going to fold, pinch it together, lift the whole thing up to about 3/4 of an inch to an inch from the top. And then we're going to fold this bottom piece up completely so that it lines up with the piece underneath. And then we're going to fold it back on itself to form the other pocket, right? Now, if we have a look here at the space that this section leaves here, that's quite a nice big space. So in actual fact, we could make that into a pocket itself. But what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to fold that back, and I'm going to place glue on the side and along the bottom. Now again, you could leave that side unglued so that it forms another little side pocket, and then fold that down, and that's that bit in place. Then we're going to lift that whole thing up to get to this part. Now I'm going to leave this part open because I like the idea of it being a little secret pocket. And then I'm just going to put glue along the bottom edge. So that all holds now all the bottom edge of those papers together. Now we're going to fold this little one back open and glue at the side to form the pocket, the bottom pocket. Then we're going to grab the second pocket, pull that open, and again put glue on the side to be able to form the pocket. Oh, seepage there, look. Get rid of you. And then fold that back over. Okay, then once your glue is set, you then put your fingers in here to give it a curved spine to sort of teach the paper where it's got to go, and then line it up, finger press, and then burnish. And one of the things that I mentioned in Wednesday's video is that sometimes when you fold these things, they can actually, here in this section, there's a whole load of paper right in a really tight crease. And so what you can do is you can get your scissors and you can just cut a tiny little niche out, a little triangular niche, and it just helps to relieve the pressure on where all those folds are. Okay, so as you can see, look, it's only the tiniest of pieces that I've just cut off, and it just helps to relieve the pressure, and that's it. That is basically it, and then you can decorate to your heart's content, and then of course you can put all your pieces of ephemera in. Now whilst I was making this, I came up with a little bit of an idea. So I'm going to show you the idea. It's expanding on this, okay? So bear with me, I'll get everything set up and I'll be back in a second. So as I say, sometimes I do things and my brain starts going off in different directions of different things that you could make with things. And so I decided to try it with a piece of 12 by 12 paper. So I've done exactly the same again. So this time I've got the decoration on the inside. I'm going to fold it up that way. Finger press and then burnish. I folded it the wrong way, didn't I? So I need to fold it that way. Pattern side out, Carol, which is what you said in the first instance. You dozy moo. Okay, so then we'll put it down. This raised mounting bit, we're going to pinch together and take up to the top edge. And then flatten the fold that's underneath it. This edge we're then going to fold up so that it meets up with this folded edge here. And again, I'm just going to burnish that and then fold this flap down. And again, just burnish. And I thought it was a great way of using up those 12 by 12 papers that you're either not particularly keen on or you just want to use them up. And this is a thin paper. So it's not your graphic 45 thick papers. And then I'm going to fold it in half. Again, putting my fingers here so that it curls round and it's sort of telling the fibres how it needs to go. And again, just fold it in half. Finger press. Press down. And we end up with a much longer version. All right. Again, I'm just going to glue this down, so I'll be back in a second. But this pocket here, I'm going to leave this end open again. So I'm just going to put glue across the bottom so that I've got a little secret hidey hole. So that's it now, all made up. Put my little niches in the fold area as well in the centre. Now what I did was I ended up making 4 in total. So I've got this gold, this green, another green and a brown. All right. So what I was thinking of was, what about if I glue them together? Page to page. So let's go green on that side. Now what I need to remember is this folded edge here and this folded edge here. I don't want to glue right the way up to the fold, so I'm going to leave a little bit of a space because it allows then for expansion. So can you see I'm doing it about sort of ½ an inch away from the edge of the fold, and I'm going to glue around all the sides then. And some across the middle. Make sure I've got it the right way up. I have, and that one's the right way up. And then I can glue one on top of the other. Now I can see that I've got a little bit of white overhang here. I'm not so worried about that because I can ink up all the edges. Okay, so I've now got 1, 2, 3 pages. Right, so we're going to do the same again with the next one. Now that one I glued down all of it. This one I'm only going to glue down top and bottom, and again down this side, but about 1/2 inch away from the edge of that fold, and glue top and bottom. So I'm leaving this side edge open. Okay, sit one on top of the other. So I've now got 4 pages. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, anyway, several. And then the last one, again, I'm going to add this so that it's got a pocket on. So again, 1/2 inch-ish away from that folded edge, and top and bottom. Line it all up. Now, the one thing that you need to remember if you're going to do this, if you're going to stack them on top of each other, you need to make sure that the depth of that first bit here is the same throughout all of the pages, because otherwise they'll end up different sizes. And as I said, I can see that I've got a little bit of white overhang there. I can either trim it off or I can ink it up, and that'll be fine. And then the bottoms will probably all need inking up as well, because they're all white, because the background, the back side of the paper was white. Okay, so I've now got this lovely little booklet that opens up with all these pockets, and it's got a pocket in between each of the pages there, and I've also got the long pocket there as a little secret hidey hole, and a short little pocket there. So I've now got this lovely little ephemera storage booklet. I could then add a single piece of card then on top of that, and I would use card, a fairly decent sized card, to put on the front and on the back to give it that extra bit of support, but you leave the spine as it is. And the reason why, and I'm going to have to be careful because my glue's not quite gone off yet, but the reason why we leave that gap is as you start to fill up your booklet with ephemera, can you see how it expands a little? It allows for the expansion of the book, and that's why we glue that part way down, so that 1/2 inch away from the edge of the creased fold. I thought I'd better show you how I'm going to attach my cover, because some of you might not know this technique. So if I measure this is 6 inches, and this is 3 1/4 inches. Okay, so 6 by 3 1/4. Now I've got myself this firm piece of card. It's about, let me have a wobble. Yeah, it's about a 300 GSM this. Now then, I want it slightly bigger than this, alright? But I want it to match up at this end where the folds are, but I want it to extend slightly beyond this edge here. So the length of it I want to be about 6 and, let's do 6 1/4, because I can always trim a bit off. So 6 1/4, and then what did I say, 3 1/4. So let's say 3 1/2, and then I can have a look, see if that's about right. So that's going to sit on there, and that is going to glue to this. So yeah, I think that's about right. So 3.5, 3.5. I just want to ink up the edges of this before I glue it in place. So I've got this lovely rust coloured seam binding, which I've just been selling in the pop-up shop, which would go lovely with this colour. I want to make sure that I've got plenty, so I need about 1 metre for the front and 1 metre for the back. So it's that way up. I'm going to fold this seam binding in half, and I'm going to put a dab of glue on that page. And I'm also going to put a little bit in between the two. Now at the moment that's quite bulky, so to just take off a little bit of the edge and also to give it some extra support, I'm just going to use my wide micropore to glue over the top of that. And it just helps to soften the edge of where the seam binding is. I'm going to do the same on the back. And like so. Okay, so now I've got this seam binding at this end, which once I've knotted it up I can then trim it down to size, but it's better to have more than it is less. Okay, so I now need to glue this to that front piece there. So best way of doing it, I'm going to leave that 1/2 inch again at this end, and then I'm going to place glue around all of those sides. And across the middle. And then I'm going to flip this over so that I can then sit that on top of the card, because then I can position it. Oh, sorry, not to the camera. I can position it so that it's right. I need to push it further that way. It's a little bit cumbersome with the ribbons in the way, but that does need to be done before you put this card on. Okay, and I've got the same space at the top and the bottom. You see how it goes nearly up to the edge of the folded edge here, and I've got a fair bit overhanging this edge here. I can trim that down if I want to. So I now need to do the same on the back. And then I can tap it to make sure that the covers are now equal. So that's the folded end that will concertina open. Oh no, I just opened my book and there was some sticky in there. Fortunately, I've got some washi tape that I can add to this. Maybe they're too wide, maybe I need a narrower one. I'm going to have to put some washi tape across the top of the pocket there, because that's just going to keep sticking God knows where that glue's come from. But anyway. So then that will open like that, like that, like that. And then that last page is then attached to the cover. And then I can decorate the cover up by putting some of the decorative papers on and any other decoration that I want on there. But I think that makes quite a nice little ephemera holder. All right. Now then, I went and purchased something else. Again, to see what it looked like. And it was, let me just get the price for you. So these were £8.99. Now again, I got them with my coffee money, so thank you very much. And you got all of these. Just do that and do that. All of these were £8.99 for all of them. Now, at the end of the day, they were just scraps of paper, basically. But again, I thought if you haven't got a lot of space, if you haven't got a lot of stash, they might be quite handy to have for collaging or for making clusters. But there's all sorts of different types of patterns within all of these packs, and you get all of them for your £8.99. I have no affiliation with the company. I just wanted to try them out. So in this particular one, get them out to show you. And they're all printed on the same kind of paper as well. It's almost like got that sugar paper feel to it. So this one has got sort of lines and grids and things on it. So, you know, even that. And they're printed on one side only. So they're plain on the back. So in the bigger stack, there's some graph papers, some lined papers, some ledger type papers. So as you can see, look, there's a variety of different patterns in there. And then in the middle one, middle size. So ideal for collaging. Oh, look, it's got one of a library card. So that one's got the graphs and the ledgery type papers in. There's some patterned papers which were very pretty. And then this one in the back of the pack, I should say, were these with some pretty little images on. The image printing isn't particularly clear, you know, not very crisp, but it gives it a slightly more vintage feel about it. And then it's got a selection of like postcards and envelopes in here, airmail ones. And then the little squares. But as I say, if you've got a ton of your own paper, you will not want to probably buy these. But if you haven't got a lot of paper, and as I say, if you don't have a printer, then they're ideal. And you've only got a small craft room as well, so you don't want, you know, to take up loads and loads of room. And what I thought was, in this little booklet, I could start to store these. So let me just separate those out. So that's the patterned little postcards. Will they'll go in that way. They disappear. So maybe the bigger ones in the bottom. And it just saves me keeping them in these plastic bags, which can have a tendency to split. So they could all sit, you know, in there. So thank you very much, Clarty Hands Crafts, for the inspiration. So please go along and have a look at her channel. Have a look at some of her other videos as well. And if she's your cup of tea, you know, then subscribe. But I think, you know, just to give her some encouragement to carry on doing what she's doing would be really lovely of you. So thank you very much for joining me again today. I hope it's inspired you to have a go. As I say, it's a really nice, quick project to do. And I'll see you on Sunday in the next video. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you again soon. Ta-ra! Bye!